Shall we start with the second chapter today? Were you able to understand the first chapter thoroughly? We saw the various definitions given by notable economists. We saw Adam Smith's wealth definition, Alfred Marshall's welfare definition, Lionel Robbins' scarcity definition, and Samuelson's growth definition in the first chapter. Apart from that, we studied about goods and services. We studied some basic concepts in economics such as price, market, cost, revenue, income. We studied about equilibrium. Then we studied about the various methods in economics, the inductive method and the deductive method. We saw the types of economics. Then the basic problems in any society, what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce, and how these problems can be solved with the help of production possibility curve. We also saw some divisions of economics. We saw the four divisions of economics. We saw the subdivisions, 4 subdivisions of economics. And types of economics, we saw 7 types of economics: microeconomics, macroeconomics, international economics, public economics, developmental economics, health economics, and environmental economics. Then we saw the subdivisions. There are 4 subdivisions. Subdivisions can also be called as the basic economic activity. So consumption, production, exchange, and distribution. So economics has been divided into 4 branches, or there are 4 economic activities. They are consumption, production, distribution, and exchange. So we will study more about these economic activities in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th chapters. Okay? So this chapter, we will deal only with consumption. So what do I mean by the word consumption? Consumption means using up of goods and services. Do you consume? Do you consume anything? Yes, of course. We all consume. We are all called as consumers. All human beings are called as consumers. So we consume so many things every day. We consume air, water, goods, services. What was your consumption today? Can you just write down all your consumptions from morning till you go to bed? You will have a plenty of numbers that items that you have consumed. You would have consumed water, and for breakfast, Indians, we consume so much, not like the Westerners. They just have some cereal or milk and they go. But we have chutney, idli, sambar, vada, everything together we have. So breakfast itself we consume so much. What about lunch? Suppose if we have sambar, you have the cereal, the dal, the mustard, oil, vegetables. Then night again we consume. Apart from that, now you are consuming my service. I am teaching and you are taking it. So that is also called consumption. That is only called as consumption of my service. So consumption is using up of goods and services. You use your textbook. That is also called as consumption. Consumption means it is not literally eating something. You use the pen, the paper, the fan, the fridge. That is also called as consumption. So in this slide, we see people buying something. They are buying goods. You see 5 or 6 people doing a shopping there. They have got trolleys. They are buying something. They are stacking it up in the trolley. So this is only called as consumption. So in this second chapter, we will be studying about consumption. So consumption is an essential economic activity. The quantity and quality of consumption determine the standard of living of people. This is very, very important. What do I consume? What do you consume? What does Sachin Tendulkar consume? What about Amitabh Bachchan? What does he consume? How about our Prime Minister Modi? Consumption varies. It depends upon the standard of living of the people. We consume basic items, okay? We might have fridge in a house or a basic car or small house. But just imagine Tendulkar, Dhoni and our Prime Minister. They'll be living in a big palace. They will be using Benz car. So the consumption varies from person to person. A person living in the platform, he will have only bun or a tea. That's it. He cannot afford to buy biryani or pizza or burger. So consumption depends upon the standard of living of the people. Hope you were able to understand. So how much do you consume? My consumption per month will be 60,000. Tendulkar's consumption per month will be 3 lakhs. Okay? The quantity of consumption, the quality. First, I spoke about the quality. What type of goods do we consume? The quality differs from person to person. The quantity also differs from person to person. In your house, for the breakfast, your mother might give you unlimited number of doses. How much ever you want, you can have. But imagine a person dwelling in the platform, he might get only one dosa. Even if he is hungry, he must be satisfied with whatever he gets. So this is a very, very important thing. The quality and the quantity of consumption depends on the standard of living of the people. Okay? So consumption is the act of satisfying one's wants. So why do I consume? Because I have a want. That's why I consume. So in economics, consumption is studied in both micro level as well as macro level. So this is just an introduction for this chapter. So what is consumption? Consumption is the beginning of economic science. What do you mean by that? Without consumption, there cannot be production. We will just study it in the micro level first. Imagine your house. Okay? Your mother cooks something and keeps for you. Let us take idli as an example. She makes 10 idlis and she keeps it on the table. Only if you finish all the 10 idlis as a family, your mother will cook something else for the lunch. If those 10 idlis are not consumed, okay, she need not do the production for the lunch. She did not do anything new for the lunch. So consumption is the beginning of economic science. So I tried to explain this by talking about production. So only if there is consumption, there will be production. Only if you consume all the 10 idlis, there will be production of lunch in the afternoon. So consumption is the beginning of economic science. In the absence of consumption, there can be no production, no exchange, no distribution. What is exchange? Giving money and buying something only is called as exchange. What is distribution? Distribution is the division of factor incomes among the factors of production. So we will study about production, exchange and distribution in the next chapters. So consumption is also an end of production. Your mother makes idli, you consume, that's it. It is the end. That production process is over. She has to redo everything again. So consumption is also an end of production. Producers produce goods to satisfy the wants of the people. So, in a society, there are two sectors of people, consumers and producers. All human beings are consumers. We all consume. But producers are very few. People who are involved in the production process are called as producers. As children, you are only consumers. Whereas myself, I am a consumer as well as a producer. What do I produce? I produce services. I do not produce commodities like a farmer. I do not produce wheat. Like a carpenter, I do not produce tables and chairs. Okay? But I do produce. But what do I produce? I produce services. So production can be goods as well as services. Likewise, consumption can also be goods and services. You are consuming goods and you are also consuming my service. So what are human wants? So because of this human wants only, we have consumption. We have plenty of wants. Okay. So in the ordinary language, desire and want mean the same. What is desire? A liking towards a particular good is only called as desire. So what do you mean by want? I want a pen. I want to use it. Okay? You demand something, that is only called as want. But in economics, they have different meanings. So desire cannot be a demand. Desire cannot be a demand in economics, because what is demand? Demand is you must have the desire, you must have the ability, and you must also have the willingness. I will be explaining about that in the next chapter. So wants are the basis for human behavior to buy and consume. Without wants, you will not buy or consume any goods. So what is this is an additional information for you. Needs and wants. Needs are things that we must have in order to survive. This is not in your textbook. I'm just giving an additional information. Needs are things that we must have in order to survive. So without this, we cannot survive. We need water. We need house. We need food, clothing. So food, clothing, and shelter. These are called as the needs, or in economics, they are called as necessaries. We saw in the previous chapter, okay, classification of goods, necessary, comforts, and luxuries. So, needs. What are wants? Wants are things that we would like to have simply to enjoy. Cycle, ball, okay. Without cycle, you can live. Okay, but without clothing or food or shelter, we cannot live. So needs are, they are must in order to survive. Wants are things that we just buy to enjoy. So what are the characteristics of human wants? What are the characteristics of human wants? Wants are unlimited. I think there are 7 points under this. Wants are unlimited, wants become habits, wants are satiable, wants are alternative, wants are complementary, wants are competitive, wants are recurring. So these are the characteristics of human wants. So this is a very, very important question. Please learn all these side headings, and you must be able to explain them also. In under part C, question number 27, describe the features of human wants. This is the answer for that question. Question number 27. In my textbook, it is 27. Describe the features of human wants. So 7 features are there. Wants are unlimited. So what I do is, I select important words in these side headings. Okay, this is the most important word here. Here habits, here satiable, alternative, competitive, complementary, and recurring. So these are the most important terms here. So wants are unlimited. What do you mean by that? Wants are countless. Okay. If I ask you to say all your wants, it will go endlessly. Miss, I want pencil, miss. I want pen. I want a pouch for that. Miss, I need a bag. Then I need a beautiful, what is that? Shoes, chappals. Or I want a gagra choli. I want a pair of jeans. I need a lipstick. I need nail polish. I want to have good dinner in a Chinese restaurant, or I want to go to Switzerland. Okay, all these are our wants. I want to own a Benz car. Okay, so our wants are unlimited. Our wants are unlimited. So that is the first point. Okay, wait a moment. I will just erase all these things. Okay, so the first thing is wants are unlimited. So from this important term, I've taken the first letter, unlimited. Wants become habits. So my important letter, the most important letter word here is habit. From that, I've taken the first letter. Here it is satiable. So S. Here alternative. Come on, tell me here in this line. Yeah, very good. C. Here again it is C. Okay, here it will be R. Okay, so these are the important words or terms in this particular sentence. So I've taken that important word, and from that word I've taken down the first letter. Okay, the first letter in the most important word, U. Wants are unlimited. Next, wants become habits. When a man starts reading newspaper in the morning, it becomes a habit. If you have the habit of waking up in the morning at 5 o'clock, okay, after 10 or 15 days, without the alarm itself, you will be able to wake up at 5 o'clock because it has become your habit. If you have a habit of watching a serial at 8 o'clock, if it is 7:30 or 7:45 itself, you will start looking at the clock. Oh, my favorite serial is at 8 o'clock. Big Boss. I must go and sit. I must see that. It becomes a habit. When a man starts reading newspaper in the morning, it becomes a habit. Okay? Hope you understood that. Like drinking tea also, taking alcohol, smoking. When you start doing it every day, it becomes a habit. Wants are satiable. We can satisfy particular wants at a given time. Your wants can be satisfied. That is only satiable. So wants are satiable. If you are hungry and if I buy something for you and if you have it, your hunger, okay, will disappear. Your want will be satisfied, but it will be satisfied only temporarily. Again in the afternoon, you will have a craving to have your lunch. If I serve you lunch, that want will be satisfied at that particular time. Again, 8 o'clock, you will say, Miss, I am hungry. So wants will be satisfied at a particular given time. Wants will be satisfied at a given time. But later on, it will occur or reoccur again. Okay. So that is the last point. Wants are recurring. It will reoccur or it will occur over and over again. Some wants. Wants are alternative. What do you mean by that? Alternative. Suppose if you're coming to school and you're waiting for a particular bus, 23C. I must take 23C and I must go to my school. You wait for more than half an hour or 40 minutes and you think that if you take a bus after that, you'll be late to the school. Immediately, what do? You call an auto, come. Must go to Benting school. So instead of bus, you have taken an auto. That is only wants are alternative. Sometimes your father will say, come on, I will drop you in my bike. So instead of going by bus or auto, you're coming to school by bike. So wants are alternative. Likewise, when we go to hotels, sometimes we go to the hotel and we ask, server, ஒரு சோளாபுரி தாங்க. சொல்வாரு, இப்பதான் மேடம் முடிஞ்சது, அதுக்கு பதிலா தோசை இருக்கு அப்படின்னு சொன்னா நான் என்ன பண்ணுவேன்? சரி சார், தோசையை கொடுங்கன்னு சொல்வேனா, அது கோச்சிக்கிட்டு வெளியில எழும்பி வருவேனா? உட்காந்தாச்சு, ஹோட்டல்ல என்ன கொடுக்குறாங்களோ, தோசையோ இட்லியோ வடையோ, instead of cholapuri, my mind was set for cholapuri, but now I have dosai or pongal or something else and come out. So that's why wants are alternative. Wants are competitive. What do you mean by competitive? When you go to the canteen, this will happen. There will be a competition. Pepsi will say, oh, you have Pepsi. Vada will say, hey, I will be tasty, you taste me. Samosa, one friend will say, hey, samosa, we'll have samosa. So wants are competitive. But the resources, the money that you have in your hand is limited. Your mother would have given you only 20 rupees. With the 20 rupees, you can buy either a soft drink or an ice cream or a vade or a dosa. You cannot have everything because your resources are scarce. That's what we learned in the first chapter, scarcity definition. Wants are unlimited, resources are scarce, so you have to make a choice. Didn't we study in the first chapter scarcity definition given by Lionel Robbins? Yeah, I think you'll be able to remember that. Wants are competitive. So what happens immediately when you go to the canteen? You just make a ranking. Oh, first let me have ice cream. Then I will have vada. Then I will have soft drink. Immediately you give a ranking for the wants and you select the most urgent want. Okay. Sometimes what will happen? You will have 20 rupees. Your mother would have given for snacks to be bought from the canteen. But what would have happened during the second period? Your pen, you would have used your pen. So now your urgent need is buying a pen. So when you go to the canteen, you'll go and opt for a pen instead of a snack. Why? Because pen is more urgent. Because in the third period, you have to use the pen. So all wants are not of equal importance. So there is competition among wants. Next one, wants are complementary. Sometimes satisfaction of a want requires the use of more than one commodity. Sometimes it happens like that. Suppose if your friend is coming for your birthday and she is gifting you with a beautiful pair of shoes. Okay, so you cannot wear shoes without socks. So you think, oh, I must buy a socks, then only I can use this shoe. So without socks, I cannot wear that shoes. Sometimes someone must have given you a beautiful top, but you will not have a bottom or a pant or a jean for that. So only if you buy the pant, you can also wear the top. Likewise, if I give you an ink bottle, hey, come on, happy birthday, have this ink bottle. If I give the ink bottle alone, can you use it? You need a pen. Suppose if I give you 4 car tires, hey, have this tire. Immediately you will ask, Miss, how can I use this, Miss, without the car? So certain goods are complementary. If I give the pen, I must give the ink. If I give the socks, I must give the shoes. If I buy a dress for you, I must buy the top as well as the bottom. So certain goods are complementary. Sometimes satisfaction of the want requires the use of more than one commodity. Let me explain this with some breakfast item. If I give you only chutney, what will you say? Miss, where is the idli? Where is the dosa? How can I have this, miss? So some wants are complementary. Wants are recurring. As I told you, breakfast you will have in the morning. Afternoon again you will become hungry and you will try to have food. So some wants occur over and over again. Suppose if I buy a car or a mobile, you will not be changing it morning you will buy, afternoon you will go and change. No, you will not change that want. Some wants you can use it for a very long time, but some wants will occur again over and over again. So these are the characteristics of wants. So why did I write all these important letters here? This is the art of memorizing mnemonics. How can you remember this now? Characteristics of human wants. You can remember like this. U, H, yes, okay. Then A, C, C, R. So you can remember these words. U, H, S, A, C, C, R. This is how you memorize certain points. So when I say characteristics of human wants, immediately you must be able to recall it. What are the points? Miss told me UHSACCR. UHSACCR. U stands for unlimited. H, habit. S, satiable. A, alternative. C, competitive. C, complementary. R, recurring. So what are the characteristics of wants? Wants are unlimited. Wants become habits. Wants are satiable. Wants are alternative. Wants are competitive. Wants are complementary. Wants are recurring. This is how you remember the side headings. This art is called as mnemonics. Okay. I think this will help you to memorize this particular question, characteristics of human wants. I will stop it now, okay, and then I will start the class again. I will give a break for the video and then we will continue.